Yes, hello. We're here at the Austin Nature and Science Center to be good natural philosophers. Let's go. All right, so I lied. We actually left the nature preserve. It was really hot and muggy. It's mosquito season. So we decided to come down to the Austin Street Festival instead, which is actually even cooler. But the topic of the video hasn't changed, which is, what exactly is it that we can all agree on? Now, I don't know exactly how to define this community, right? Like, what do you call it? The alternative spirituality community, the neo-pagan, occult, magical, alternative, whatever it is, experimental spirituality. I like that one a lot. However, we define this community of people who are interested in the spiritual quest, but from let's say a non-mainstream perspective, we don't get along very well. This is no secret. We're all super individualistic. We all have our own perfectly tailored path that works just for us. It's like, okay, you're a Hermetic, chaos, neurolinguistic programming, Norse tradition, Vajrayana, level 3 Reiki practitioner. It's like, okay, we get it. You're a hippie and your dad doesn't like you. Okay, that's a joke, by the way. We're all so individualistic that there's nothing we can really agree on as a community. And as long as I've been involved in this, there hasn't really been a whole lot that people come together on. Everyone wants their own little dunghill that they can crow from and be I'm the wizard. Well, here's the thing. There are very, very organized groups out there that are very, very cohesive, that they believe something in common. Examples, the evangelical Christians. Examples, radical Islamism. What we might call the Black Brotherhood, the dogmas of the past that are seeking simply to control people through spirituality and are losing their grip on people and are lashing out. And we don't need to mention specifics, but just look at the news. So, and that's beginning to escalate into a bigger threat, honestly, than I thought it was going to be. And I've been focused on this for a long time. But the kind of resurgence of theocracy and mob mentality, mass delusion, has become more pernicious than I thought it was ever going to be in my lifetime. And I think the internet is probably why. Meanwhile, the people who are supposed to be forming a bulwark against that, the neo-pagan community, are bickering on Facebook about who's more connected to Crowley or whatever it is. So I've thought about for a long time, what is the thing that we can all agree on? And my answer that I propose is this. It's simple. It's nature. Okay, we only have, a few more generations till climate change, let's say, changes things so drastically that life as we're currently experiencing it is not going to be the same. Let's keep it to that, okay? But I think after the last few summers and the extreme heat waves, it's pretty hard to deny, even for people, with a financial stake in denying it. And there's a lot of them around. The preservation of nature is critical to all of us, no matter what our spiritual background is. Frankly, it should be important even to the major monotheist religions. Although, in the case of the evangelical Christians, for instance, they have something called dominion theology, which is very much worth a Wikipedia lookup, which basically says that they're in charge of the planet and that it doesn't matter if the biosphere is destroyed. In fact, as was believed by the Puritans, as was quoted in the movie The Witch, nature is Satan's playground. That tends to be how the evangelicals see it. And they see it essentially as like the booster rockets on a spaceship to be discarded because it's the next life that matters. And this is an illusion. A lot of religions really posit that the natural world is an illusion. And that's a real issue because, okay, maybe they're right, but most likely they're not. And if we let them, destroy the planet for their insane ideologies that were past their sell-by date thousands of years ago, we're not going to have a game board to play our games on. We're all playing slightly different games, but we're all sharing a game board, which is this planet. We're not going to have a game board, and frankly, neither are they. So if there's one thing that I think everyone can agree on, certainly, I think that the neo-pagan community can agree with, let's say, the scientific, the agnostic, the new atheist community, and standing against theocratic systems that are trying to resurgently take control. We also, quite frankly, should be standing with also religious systems because they should realize, and many of them do, okay, that it is in their best interest to preserve the planet, okay, the ones that are not crazy. The problem is there's a lot of crazy ones. So if I can offer one organizing principle for the experimental spirituality community, it would be the preservation of nature. Everything else we can fight over, we can still be individualistic, we can still be anarchists and all, in the sense of like none of us want to be like any of the other ones. That's great, but we need at least one thing we can agree on. And so that is my suggestion, because that's the battle that we're facing anyway, whether we rise to the challenge or not. And if there's one group of people that should be rising to the challenge of protecting the earth, quite frankly, it's neo-paganism. The true expression of neo-paganism is not being a Wiccan Molgoth. I was that person too, and that tends to be where we start. But what is the role of a neo-pagan adult, a mature, grown, individuated adult? I would suggest that it's not wearing druid robes and all of that silliness. It's actually taking actions in the world to protect the planet, okay? And the dress up, all this stuff is not important. What's important is what you do. And this is something that we need to take action on and communicate on and be clear on before it's too late. And frankly, it's something that we can all get together on, socialize on, feel good about, and not compete with each other about, because the environmental crisis will require and does require and is requiring all hands on deck. It's a monster, a dragon that's so big that it's going to take the whole human race to defeat it. But now that might be overwhelming, or you might say, you know what, that sounds like the plot of Avengers Endgame. That's really fun. Let's have a team up. So that's my suggestion. And if you want a symbol to symbolize this idea, sigil, if you will, in your mind, just imagine like a Zen calligraphy like circle, a green circle. Take that as the symbol of our new collective focus, if you so choose. All right, that's going to be it for me. Lots of love. Make sure to like and subscribe because the channel's growing. We're really, really loving all the feedback, the engagement. We read all the comments. And frankly, I'm really touched how excited people are about this project. So I'm going to keep doing it. We're going to be releasing videos on Fridays. And as you can see, we're just going to be goofing off, experimenting with a lot of formats and not taking it too seriously. So come along on the ride with us. We're going to have a lot of fun on this channel. And we're really enjoying all of your comments and your participation. And if you have ideas for videos, by the way, we will read them. All right. Lots of love. See you later.